Greetings to all. We are back with a new episode from Rishidhara. With due passage of time, as my discussions with the Master took shape, I became more curious to ask him a few questions about how he became who he was. One evening, as we sat drinking tea, I popped the question, "Were you always interested in questions pertaining to life? I'm really surprised and interested to know how you came to be as you are now, with the understanding and the treasure trove of knowledge that you have got." He laughed heartily and said, putting down his cup, "Like all of us, I too am here in this world because of my parents. We inherit certain strengths and weaknesses from them, and then our immediate surroundings come into play, shaping us through due course. Experiences and events are constantly molding one's understanding, isn't it? But if those experiences are not translated into a quest, we never ever get to comprehend the most fundamental things of life. Rather, those millstones on the path that guided me towards a more natural and holistic living are special. The path is evergreen and verdant. To my question then, what he said was an amazing life story. He did have a natural inclination towards traditional culture and heritage, along with a strong penchant for asking questions, and questions maketh the man. He was born into a well-to-do landlord family in Puri district of Odisha, a family deeply devoted to Jagannath and Jagannath Tattva. Few of his ancestors in his kutum had also carried the Paramaguru title that was conferred by the then Gajapati king of Puri. Growing up in a culturally rich region of the land, he savored his childhood, indulging in antiques and activities alike. He grew up in a family of adherents to Vedic Sanatana Parampara, who were also music and art lovers. His father, Durga Charana, a teacher by profession and a practitioner of Kriya Yoga, shaped his early years. His father was a rational man with a prolific love for reading, which he inherited as well. His father became his first guru and taught him yoga techniques at an early age. His grandfather, Krutibasa, taught him scriptures, Agnihotra, Panchayagya, and other rituals, and introduced him to the worship of Ashwatthama, who is his family's Kula Guru. His family members, particularly his father, was deeply connected with Sri Robin Chandra Chattopadhyay, who later on came to be known as Kriya Yogi Hariharananda. Along with his family members, he came in very close contact with Yogi Hariharananda and practiced yoga, actively supervised by his father. At a young age, inspired by the life of the famous yogi Nigamananda, he got into the practice of Tantra aspects of yoga for a long period of time. At a later stage of his life, he got initiated into the Kali Krishna tradition by Kasinath Dasa. This esoteric Tantra yoga tradition reversed Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. While practicing in this tradition, he realized Bhava Samadhi and understood many other subtle aspects. However, his search for answers never stopped in spite of a hectic professional life, that of a journalist and a social activist. It was this persistent drive that led him to meet many gurus, religious leaders, mendicants, charlatans, philosophers, and people from various walks of life. Ancient tradition of rishis or Rishidhara advocates that the path is always greater than those who walk on it. Rishidhara is the wellspring of almost all Indian-born religions, which carry certain aspects of yoga within them. He traveled through the length and breadth of the country to look for the hidden science of yoga within these religions by looking beyond religious ritual conventions. Eventually, he met Sri Prakash, a researcher and practitioner of intangible oral tradition of much traditionally embedded knowledge emanating from Rishidhara. His association with Sri Prakash helped him immensely to understand the science of Rishi Yoga and the finer nuances of Tantra and the traditional techniques, practices, and applications. With Sri Prakash's advice and the insights offered by him, he delved deeper to understand and realize the theory of everything as conceived by Rishidhara, while traveling as a paribrajak for a long period of time. Again, being guided by Kali Mata Matha, whose founder was Saint Rama, the foremost disciple of the famous Saint Achyutananda of the Panchashakha tradition. He got initiated again into Panchashakha tradition and slowly moved towards fulfillment. The Panchashakha tradition, founded by the 5 saint poet reformers and practitioners of Yoga Tantra from Odisha in the 15th century AD, ascribes in Jagannath and Jagannath Tattva the convergence of all religious traditions of Indian origin. He says, the credit for what he is goes to his masters and the ancestral lineage of Rishi Kashyapa that shaped his understanding of Rishidhara, that ancient research lineage which goes back to not less than 6 millennia. And the intangible oral tradition continues to be the hallmark of imparting esoteric and embedded knowledge as well as techniques. Now, being much experienced and expert on traditional Yoga Tantra practices, he guides his own people to achieve the state of his own state. Following the age-old convention as envisaged and practiced by the rishis of yore, that the next ones must be more efficient and powerful than him, he strives to make his own people better than him. There is complete exemplified justification in whatever he says and does. He is a Sakta Sannyasi known simply as Sannyasi Sunyananda. Om.